Bet you never would have guessed this one. Guyana, world's fastest growing economy, 2023. U.S. debt, over 33 trillion now. How are we supposed to live like this? $90 worth of groceries. Grow most of those vegetables. Hedge funds are going to start offloading stocks in the next 2 weeks. Look for something unusual. Largest EV station in the world. Powered by diesel generators. Just as we're left with 17 days of strategic petroleum reserves, a geocentric look at possible electromagnetic anomaly. Because the timeline of the double-headed eagle is the sun. As with life, so many things random. Thought I'd start us off here with one of the cleanest cuneiform tablets that I've ever seen. I'm no stranger to looking at grainy photos of cuneiform tablets photographed over the last 100+ years, but they try to obfuscate history like, oh, here's a half-broken one that's been eroded in a riverbed for 2,000 years. But when you see this, Samaria takes on an entirely different twist. Just like your perception of what are world powerhouse economies. That list would include Germany, United States, Russia, China. But here we are, the world's fastest growing economy, Guyana. With that GDP per capita skyrocketing, I wonder what the opportunities are there, as they say. Opportunity in the danger, Chinese proverb. As other places across the planet collapse, i.e. US and Western world, new players are going to start to spring up. And here's one of them. But don't worry, some economists say not all debt is bad, especially when the US jumps over 33 trillion. Talk about a gaslight. Would that go right along with my new LED light? It shows national debt increased 84 times out of that 100 years, so 84% of the time. Obviously, the most recent times, especially that jump from 1983 forward, I wonder how much we could gut out of this spending and bring that back into some sort of balance. Where would a vacation break the bank? Because it hits everybody in the pocketbook. This inflation running rampant. Translated into English, it means places that people can't afford a holiday because they don't have enough money set aside. And they couldn't pay their basic bills if they went on a holiday. Canada, number 1. United States, number 2. Australia, number 3. That is surprising. Japan, and then Mexico trailing up that list along with India. I don't see Russia, China, or Guyana on this list. Now allow us a moment to review this image in a tweet. How are we supposed to live like this? $90 for that amount of groceries right there. And I would say that is ridiculous myself. Looking at that, 90 bucks? So how do you solve that problem? First of all, you need to know where your you-pick orchards are. And you would go probably pick 50 or 100 pounds of apples and then dry those out with a dehydrator. And spend a weekend doing that. Just do a rotation crop. Now, in those vegetables, you can grow all those yourself. No kidding. And if you can't, you should know where a community garden is that you could volunteer time to learn how to grow the vegetables. So when you get land, you can do it on your own. Again, the meats and the milk, where's your local farmer at? The U.S. debt crisis could ignite a long-term rally in gold. Since March 2020, the U.S. added another $8 trillion in debt, and gold has gone up 50%. Now with the Fed raising interest rates, the interest payment on our debt has surpassed $1 trillion annually. BRICS nations met last month, and oil-rich nations, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, have joined Russia, China, and India. Another credit rating agency, S&P, downgraded multiple U.S. banks on liquidity worries, and 51% of Americans can't pay their credit card bills, which just surpassed $1 trillion for the first time in history. If this continues with the increase in spending and regulation, it's only going to get worse. Which means buying gold and silver is a defensive strategy. Call Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Adapt 2030 channel. You're going to get some great in-class service.
Also, Patriot Gold Group has a no fee for life IRA where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver. No fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020. And also now for the 7th year in a row, Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs top rated IRA gold dealer. 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. And to buy such smidgenish, if that's a word, quantities, why wouldn't you go and buy bulk? Get a Costco membership or Sam's Club, something. You know, you're going to have to think of many different ways to save money during these times. And that's just me looking at that image thinking, you probably could have gotten 5 times more for that same amount of money just using those little tips and tricks. But gasoline, that's something different. Hard to produce your own gasoline. Biodiesel, maybe, but that's a stretch at best. $7 for regular gasoline approaching in California, right as we only have 17 days left of strategic petroleum reserves. So if the United States did go into an emergency like yesterday's test, there would only be 17 days to distribute, and for sure that would be ration in minute number 1. Don't kid yourself, don't delude yourself, and having extra fuel as a supply backup too, like an extra can or 2. If you got a couple extra gas cans laying around, fill them up while you can get it easily. You know, and everywhere you look across the Western world, there's these, disconnects happening, these rifts, things are breaking, canyons are forming. So I'm going to bring you back here to April of this year. 30-day delinquencies, look at that, straight up to 3.4%. Now, how does that dovetail into the 1st of July's statistics? Current mortgage pushing 7.5%. Do you think there are more delinquencies? Because this is just one single facet. Then you add in, like we saw the previous slide/tweet, food prices driving everything, energy prices to the moon. And it's really easily explainable why there's delinquencies in mortgages and repos on cars. People just can't afford it. Now, if you take a look at the general trend, it's up and up. Now, these are official figures, and I've seen so many other actual number crunches going on. Shadow stats would be one, and that's putting us at 18 to 20%, so double what you're seeing on the chart here. The World Food Program and FAO, that's the Food and Agriculture Organization from the United Nations, have all said, look for food prices to double again in the next 12 months. And then you got the Pope telling people, don't eat meat, self-destruction. I thought there was a list of other self-destructive activities when I was a kid growing up, but I guess changing times. Because we do look at the pillar of what was changing into now what is, but it seems to still be controlled by the same players, leaving their mark on gold through history. The shillings. This is from Austria. I thought I would throw these because I'm a fan of gold. I like it. I like the color. I like the texture. And everybody through history has been mesmerized by it. I guess I'm just one of the flock, mesmerized by gold. But one thing that has stayed the same eternally, this double-headed eagle continues to show itself. Controlling through time. And one of the things now being pushed, the green economy. And I love this expansion of the green economy, YouTube. This is a family-friendly, advertiser-friendly video here. I love the world's largest electric vehicle charging station, powered by diesel generators. I kid you not. Here we go. The green dream is alive. And if you don't see it, I guess the greenwash is working. And speaking of changes, hedge funds using computers like algorithms to outtrade you on a billionth of a second or a millionth of a second, move ahead of you on the markets, are going to trade equities, expecting to sell to the tune of 20 billion, 30 billion in the next 2 weeks. Now,
You can add into this verified flows of huge amounts of Bitcoin and Ethereum hitting the exchanges. Now, generally, when that much liquidity rolls into the exchanges, they're expecting sell. So it just dovetails straight into this. If liquidity seems to be a problem across the economic scape and these algorithmic hedge funds are going to start unloading, and that last paragraph, amplifying the ongoing downward trajectory, because the trifecta of, something seems to be about to break. Because the U.S. Treasury, just spiked to 4.8, meaning more banks are underwater and they're going to have to unload at a loss. And you see this crisis in the bond swap market, this rate swap market. And it's so interesting that through these next weeks, the geocentric view of our Earth in the center, and you can see how this electromagnetic freak show is unfolding here. It began on the 29th, right when we entered into that field marked by pink. Those are the gas giants forming a parallel formation in the outer solar system, which will reach its apex in 2024. But during all the selling and all the craziness in the markets, coming up just 2 days from now in the midst of the unwind, can you believe it? This will be the max of this particular magnetic freak show. Beginning the 7th, it'll probably roll through the 17th, 16th, 17th there. Look for more earthquakes. Geocentric view means, the Earth is the center of your viewpoint. Heliocentric would be where the sun is the center and you see the orbits of all the planets around the sun. But I wanted you to take a look in electromagnetically, where the sun is to the west or to the left with Mercury and Mars on the periphery there. But then all these outer gas giants also. It's forming like a chute for some potentiality of magnetism or gravity to move through the solar system in a different way, concentrated. Thought I'd throw that out there because Ransom Godwin and myself are going to be talking about this tonight, Thursday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. Join us on Rumble, the Adapt 2030 channel. And as always, releasing the show notes from our programs, just bullet point list of what we talked about so you can start the conversation with others or do a deep dive in your own research. Head over to oilseedcrops.org. In the nav bar, you'll see MIAC radio show. Click there, put your email, and we'll get that out to you on a weekly. And please remember, with YouTube's algorithm running today, like, subscribe, and click that bell to get notified. I do appreciate you watching. Hope you got something out of the video. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.